My name is Joy Air, and my company is Freedom with Joy. I'm proud to bring you Mystic Radio with Robin Alexis. As you might know, Robin lost her voice last year, and when she is healed, she will be back offering Mystic Radio live.
Welcome to Mystic Radio with Robin Alexis from Mystical Mount Shasta. If it's Wednesday or Sunday, it is Mystic Radio. Hello, hello, hello. This is Bob Bordenaro, Robin's husband and producer of Mystic Radio with Robin Alexis. Robin and I welcome our listeners from all over the world to call the show today. It's your calls and questions that make our live call-in show so intriguing. Now, Robin and I want to thank you for joining us today and for telling your family and friends about Mystic Radio. Mystic Radio is a little oasis to help the planet wake up, because we need to get out of denial, and we need to wake up, and we need to really look and be honest about what we're seeing out there. So Mystic Radio can help you do that, and we want to thank you for joining us today. You know, Mystic Radio is an experience, not an explanation.
Hello, everybody. This is Robin Alexis. Thank you for joining us live. And it's gotten very interesting with the Mystic Radio community. We're starting to have listeners give us questions between the shows, and if we have time today, we will be talking about some of those and talking about varying answers to those questions. So stay tuned for a little bit different arc of how we do experience the show. But the intention is always to empower each one of us to know, trust, and act upon our own knowing. Do you have the courage to know, trust, and act upon your own knowing? You know, sometimes we get intuition and it would seem on the surface that, oh, we must be crazy. But then if you don't do what you intuitively got, you find out why you should have listened to yourself. And if you listen to that subtle voice and you do move forward, you're like, aha. So that's why. So learning to discern, you know, how do you deal with it once you figure out that you do know it and that you do trust it? How is it that you act on it, and what kind of repercussions do you get? It's very fun to listen to Mystic Radio and enhance your ability to know, trust, and act upon your own knowing.
I'm going to say that once again. This show is to teach you and to assist you to enhance your ability, your woman's intuition multiplied by 1,000 times, to know, trust, and act upon your own knowing. And when you get that feeling, if it's a gong, it's a go. If it's a clunk inside, don't do it. And I'll bring it up once again. How many people in life have had relationships in their life when on the first date, second date, you knew there was going to be a problem, but you went ahead with it anyway? That's your intuition telling you maybe you shouldn't do this, and to learn how to teach you to listen to your own intuition.
And just think about this question, and this is what I was actually referring to earlier. What if you had the ability to know, trust, and act upon your own knowing at preconception? Just to hold that thought as we keep moving forward in the show.
All right, let's see. When you call in, or if you're on hold, you have one question to ask Robin, so make it a good one, and she can be of service to you in many ways. She can teach you how to manage your own energy and help you get that clarity about the choices you have to make in life. She can tell you about your past lives, as she's a medium, and she can talk to babies, people, or pets who've transitioned to the other side, and she can rebalance your energy. So we have a great show for you coming up today with our courageous callers. Callers, please take your phone off speaker and turn off your radio or computer before you get on the call with Robin so that she can clearly assist you with what your questions are.
And think about how Mystic Radio being live is appointment radio. So you might want to put the appointment for the show in your cell phone alarm on repeat for 3 p.m. Eastern Time and 12 noon Pacific for Wednesdays, and then go ahead and put that toll-free number in so that you can always call when it serves you. It is 888-298-5569.
How about I play the gong, clear the energy for the show,
yes,
and then get to our callers.
And there's quite a few here. I'm excited to help people. Ilakai shatoi anokoi shatini nokoi. So before we get to the calls, there are three spirits that are here. They say that they are not from this realm of consciousness. They are telling us that they are from the Hathors. They're saying that there is an activation for our pineal glands, should we want to receive that, and that each of us are responsible for our own knowing, and that we can ask that our higher self go and speak to these beings who are here and assist us in the up-leveling of our DNA through our pineal glands. So we're just going to leave that alone unless it comes up on a call. But those of you who knew that that was for you, I'm sure you're already tuning in to the three Hathors that came today. I am. I trust them. Okay, Bob, who's here?
We've got Three Feathers, who happens to be somewhere downtown Manchester.
Really?
Must be calling on her cell phone. And so we're going to go to Three Feathers. Three Feathers, welcome to Mystic Radio. We are in Manchester. You are in Manchester. You are on with Robin.
Hello, hello. I'm actually on the road really close.
Aha.
I am calling because I wanted to get some validation and maybe clarity. I had a vision the other night, doing some deep healing in the heart center and throat chakra, and I was taken back to a memory which you actually told me about, Robin, many years ago, where I was responsible for or played a part in the downfall of a civilization, whether it was Atlantis, Lemuria, I don't remember. And it had to do with my trust, that I was trusting so much, and that ended up leading to bad things. And then I was immediately reminded of a memory that my twin had of the fall, or a battle with Sirius, I believe. And he also had mission failure. And so then I saw an actual geometric structure, which was not symmetrical, but I knew immediately it was like a mission failure geometry, a program construct. And
Yeah,
I
I can see that.
It and break it. I was able to break it.
Good.
And I'm just wondering if that worked for both of us, and if it was also part, maybe will help the collective of twins that are trying to complete their mission.
Well, the first thing I'm getting is that the work that you did affect the collective of the twin flame experience, and that there are some more interferences that are underneath that initial breaking of that glass ceiling, if you will, of that dynamic. And so you're well on your way to getting to the underbelly of multiple issues that are presenting around that. So to answer your question, I do see what you're speaking about, both for you and your twin, and I do feel that this is creating movement and opportunity and evolution for you and your twin as a personal situation, but also as a surrogate vibration that can be felt out into the ethers. And I'm being guided to, to go to where is it that the watery flow of this divine blueprint, where is it that it got tangled up in the weeds of eternity? And see if in your innocence, perhaps, you got involved with something where you just didn't know what you didn't know. And I feel like that's true, but you also still don't know what you didn't know. And so therefore, there's some frequencies in here that could still rebind you into situations that are not of the easiest flow for you. So part of the way that you can heal this is you can simply accept that in this opportunity that you have to be a twin flame is that there are situations where we simply don't know what we don't know when we're having our earth experiences. Or you can go in there and you can find out exactly what they are and do what you did with this malformed sacred geometry. You can go in and you can crush the whole thing. But I feel that you're at a pulse point right now where you can figure out what you want to do with how you want to transform these energies. So I would say that what's going to start coming at you might become more intense, meaning that the energy might start pulsing at you instead of just having a steady stream. and that it would be good for you to be quiet someplace and evaluate the situation and decide what you want to do before you proceed in, because you don't want to go where angels fear to tread. If you need to delegate the correction of this to someone that you trust in the inner plane, then you need to do that as well. We were talking, Bob and I talk a lot about sports and running sports teams, and a lot of the different big sport teams are having some issues, and I'm finding that even in the inner plane with someone like yourself, who's working a lot with, in a sense, a business structure in the inner plane, that some of the people or beings who are in your inner group you might need to let go of and call in some who are now appropriate to you to work with where you're going now as you continue to evolve with the structure of the twin flame blueprint. So
when you say inner group, do you mean people in my physical reality or my spirit guides?
Spirit guides.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm actually not going down that route any further. I just want to...
All right, that sounds good then. All right, so you've made a decision. I love it. Thank you so much for calling in, Three Feathers. I can feel a lot of movement with your call. Namaste.
Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.
If you have a question and you want to talk to the mystic today, Robin Alexis, you can give us a call. Toll free, 888-298-5569, locally in Seattle, 425-373-5527. We're going to go to the first Maureen from Port Orchard, Washington. Maureen, welcome to Mystic Radio from Mount Shasta, California. You are on with Robin Alexis.
Oh, hi. Hi, Robin. Hi, Bob.
Hi.
My back issue, I called you a couple of times a few weeks ago about beings that were kind of living in my low back. I don't know if they're gone, but my back is still sore. I went to the chiropractor 4 times last week just to get the same old issue resolved all the time. And it's kind of wearing me out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, back pain can do that to you.
I'm bored of all this. So is it my energy, or are there still beings back in the low back?
Well, when I look in the low back area, I do not see other energies there. I'm scanning it in a lot of different levels, but it does feel a little bit like a blown tire, like the wear and tear of what you've gone through. Because you used to have a multidimensional portal back there, and you were getting infiltrated, there's has to be a complete shift of a blueprint of energy. And there are some essential oils that I would recommend that you use that will help you regenerate both the nervous system and the cellular structure of what it is that you need back there. So in other words, it feels like you need to rebuild the energy that's created your back so that the energy is impenetrable from those other things that used to hijack you all the time. That was a repetitive pattern.
It feels like there's residue left over is what it kind of feels like.
Well, the residue that I'm witnessing is the residue of the pattern that allowed it to happen. So again, that would be where you were part of the problem instead of part of the solution, is you had a broadcast signal built into your back that said, hey, tap into my field. And essentially what you're doing now is erasing that configuration, kind of like what Three Feathers was talking about. You just get to the point where you realize something that you created needs to be discreated, and then you need to bring in what you do need to create. So to me, you need a variety of tools or energies, not just chiropractic care, to reboot that area. So there's a couple of techniques. Have you ever done a map meditation?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so I will post that on Facebook for you, what that is, and then I'll also post the essential oils that I'm seeing would be good for you to put on your back. So we'll do that later in a follow-up on Facebook, but that's what I'm feeling, is that it's time for you to rebuild, not let go. It's like you've already done the letting go. So now we got to get you built up into in a frequency where you're stronger. Okay?
Okay, well, that makes sense. That actually makes a lot of sense.
All right.
Because
So
the back feels very weak.
yes.
And I feel tired, and I think that's because now I'm in the building process. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to get you what you need to reboot. All right. You take
Okay,
care.
I can do
Thank
that.
you.
I can do that.
All righty.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
We will be back after these messages. This is Mystic Radio.
When is the last time that you felt joy-filled and free in your own body, mind, and emotions? That energy of joy in you is what I assist you to reset and restore. I'm Joy Air, and my company is Freedom with Joy. And I sponsor Mystic Radio with Robin Alexis. What is Freedom with Joy? I assist people to get rid of their baggage without having to analyze or relive it. It's just gone, and you get your life back. Joy is an energy, and everything in the world has energy. Our bodies are no exception. When you have emotional baggage from the past, it blocks you from living your full life of love and joy. I'm a certified practitioner of Dr. Bradley Nelson's energy healing modalities, the emotion code and the body code. This work quite often produces marvelous results and wonderful benefits, so you can be free to live in abundant health, love, and happiness. These tools are not meant to replace any medical treatment, but if your body or mind is feeling heavy instead of joy-filled, let me assist you to relieve your burdens and lighten your spirit. Openings for new clients are filling up, so grab this opportunity to schedule a session with me. Call now to schedule your appointment for a free discovery call. 360-582-6595. That's 360-582-6595. You too could experience freedom with joy.
Mystic medium and metaphysical mother Robin Alexis is once again inviting you to schedule your personal one-on-one phone sessions with her. Robin offers you her expertise with a psychology background and her acclaimed metaphysical skills. She's a Reiki master and has been in private practice assisting people to figure out their life concerns for over 30 years. Whether you've just heard about her or like thousands of others who've worked with her on Mystic Radio and in personal readings, you know a session with Robin Alexis can change your life. Robin has a profound skill set that includes past life readings and being a medium who speaks with family, friends, and pets who've transitioned. Robin is also an adept medical intuitive whose abilities range from being able to balance your chakras and energy systems to having a special gift of helping mothers to become pregnant when nothing else has worked. Mystic Robin Alexis can assist you to feel the power of your own mind, your own heart, and your own ability to create the life you deserve. Schedule your sessions with Robin now in the Mystic Store at RobinAlexis.com. That's RobinAlexis.com or call 530-859-2499. That's 530-859-2499. Call, schedule your appointment, and change your life now. You're listening to an encore edition of Mystic Radio. This show was originally recorded live in April of 2019. Robin will return as soon as her voice returns, so listen every week for an announcement of her return date.
Welcome back to Mystic Radio with Robin Alexis from Mystical Manchester. If it's Wednesday or Sunday, it is Mystic Radio.
To get in touch with me for one-on-one phone sessions, you can call Bob at 530-859-2499 and he'll get you scheduled. Or, for your convenience, you can also go to RobinAlexis.com, go into the Mystic Store and book online, and then he will call you and schedule you after that has occurred. I do encourage you to join us on Facebook for conversation. One of the listeners had a very interesting question, and that was, if we choose our parents, why choose someone who is abusive to us? And there's a lot of different answers to that question, but I bring it up right now because I offer these special metaphysical mothering conscious conception readings to answer the very subject of that, I believe that preconception is the most potent time for us to make conscious choices about what type of a life experience we want to have. So if at preconception, the baby spirit knows that it's not a participant in life, but it's actually a creator of its life, then it can look at situations that it might have to live through in the physical plane and go, you know what, can we correct that? And what do I mean by that? What do I mean by that is that, say, for example, you have karma. Say that in some past lives you were abusive to a child, and so therefore you are coming back to be abused by your parents. If at preconception you're able to address that, you can go into the karmic boardroom and you can shapeshift the karma. You can take the teachings there and you can experience forgiveness, and you can come back as a baby spirit, a conscious soul, and say, okay, I have learned that that is inappropriate behavior and I don't need to experience it being done to me in order to know this. I already know it. And so you can change what your experience is going to be anticipated to be by becoming aware of the choices you're making at preconception. Now, many of us didn't have that opportunity to work with a metaphysical mother who could assist our mothers to know such things. And perhaps our souls weren't evolved enough to be aware that we could make decisions like that. So because everything is shape-shifting and everything is evolving, we have opportunities to change different experiences. And so if you know anyone who's thinking about getting pregnant, it's really an incredible gift to have them be able to have a conscious conception reading.
Would you like me to jump in on my theory? One of the theories.
I would love that.
That why we choose parents that will abuse us. I was abused. I was beaten pretty badly by my father over and over and over again for different situations. And so when I think about it, I have chosen not to have my own biological children because I didn't think at that point in my life I could stop that pattern, and I did not want to do that. So maybe I was brought here. I'm sure my father was abused by his father and his father, and it's been going on for hundreds of years, and maybe one of the reasons was I came here to stop that abuse in our lineage of our family. Could be.
Oh, I totally agree with that, and I could pop in with stories about why I picked my parents, but I think that's enough right now. Let's see if our callers have any questions around that.
Okay, or whatever. So we're going to go to Maureen we got another Maureen from this one from Linwood, Washington. Maureen number 2, welcome to Mystic Radio from Mount Shasta, California. You're on with Robin Alexis.
Thank you so much for taking my call.
You're welcome.
My question is kind of along those lines that you were just talking about. I was abused as a child, but my concern now is for my kids who all seem to be having some sort of mental health issues, and I'm kind of bewildered by it.
Okay. So what I hear you saying is very similar to what Bob said, is that he's aware that sometimes things generationally can be like miasms in the DNA, and even if there's not something experientially, like maybe you said you were abused, maybe your kids weren't abused in the same way that you were, and so therefore it would be befuddling to you if in fact they displayed behavior that would indicate that they have some issues to work through because they're displaying mental health symptoms. This is the type of energy that we have to understand, that if it's dormant, if it hasn't been addressed, but it becomes a miasm in the DNA, a variety of things can trigger it. And it doesn't necessarily have to be something that we experience that could be a trigger for our own children. So you still have to get beneath the experience that triggered it to the actual issue. Now, when I go to you, I'm going into a generational issue that's going pretty far back, Maureen. Could you tell me if was your father or your mother or both who abused you?
Mother.
Your mother. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what's interesting to me is when I look at where is the issues coming in for your children, it's actually not coming in off your mother. So what that tells me is that you dealt with shape-shifting the generational issues by, like Bob, you chose to have a different action, a different way of being. So you took the negative teaching and you chose a different way of being. But the energy that came through your father, where perhaps he didn't speak up about something or whatever he was doing consciously or unconsciously to allow for that to happen, that is the actual frequency that I'm seeing coming through in his wounding your children. And if we look in terms of what is being disclosed in a variety of ways with the issues that we're seeing in our world, we're seeing that we have all been unconsciously colluding with things that weren't right. And in this situation, I'm just going to bring up the Catholic Church, that, you know, it takes a village to raise a child, but it's also taken the villages of secrecy within the institution of the Catholic Church to abuse those children. And so that is where someone who is observing a situation, knowingly or unknowingly, doesn't do anything about it, that also can create a wounding, and that wounding can therefore create someone who's not dealing with it to have mental health issues. Did anything I just say make sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm being inspired to speak a little bit more deeply about this, and this is that when my daughter died back in 1978, I kept having issues around the grief, and I asked around town. About 5 years later, I asked around town, the small town I grew up in, and I said to a whole bunch of different women, at least 12 of them, I said, who do you recommend that I go to as a psychologist? And every single one of them referred me to the same person. So I went to that one psychologist that was so referred by all of these women, and that guy locked me in his office as I was leaving after a counseling session and physically violated me. And I was so dumbfounded. And I followed up with these other women, and I was like, how could you refer me to this guy? Did he do stuff like that to you? And these women said to me, yeah, he did. We thought it was part of therapy, or some of them said, oh, we thought he actually liked us. We thought it was just us, that we were special. So anyway, my point is that as we peel these onion layers off of the way that we have all, knowingly or unknowingly, created a dysfunctional matrix of how the human structure relates to each other, we have kids like yours, or people like your kids, who are bringing up the place where it doesn't feel right to them to participate in that sort of collusion or omission of silence or whatever it is. And so as I'm speaking these words, for some reason I'm actually seeing a healing going to your children, and I'm feeling that I'm going back in time to their preconception, and I'm getting that they actually had soul agreements with you to heal the father's side of the lineage here. So you brought in the mother's lineage healing, they're bringing in the father's lineage healing, and then when both energy patterns heal and come together in sacred union, then your family's legacy shifts, and the legacy of all families shift. And that is what your kids came to you, and you agreed with them, was to correct the situation. So how do you feel when I say that to you?
Wow, I hadn't thought about my father's side, but it makes sense. How do I gift that to my children?
How do you do what with your children?
How do I gift that? How do I?
Oh, how do you gift that? Okay. All right. Well, the first thing is I would bow to the two things. I would, if you still want to maintain the soul contract with them, which is you definitely have it as far as I can tell, then you want to honor it, and you want to back off any judgment of how they are going about experiencing that, and just taking that energy pressure off, see if there's any change in their behavior. If you decide that, you know what, this just isn't working, I would take your higher selves and go with the overlighting diva of your Akashic records into the karmic boardroom in a meditation. And I would, one by one, sit your children down across the table from you, their higher selves in there, and say, look, you know, I'm watching this thing play out and it's not working, so I'm going to null and void this. I don't want to participate in this with you. And so maybe that will take pressure off them too, because right now there's an existing contract that they would be that part of this experience, but maybe they're not capable of having it. Go ahead, Bob.
And this is very difficult to do in 5 minutes on the radio, and it's very complicated. Maybe you need a session with Robin so she can teach you some tools. You'll have an hour, and maybe you can move it forward, because this is very complicated as I'm listening to it, and you're hearing it for the first time. I hear this kind of stuff for forever, so you might want to consider that.
Yeah, you could do that, Maureen. But so in other words, you have a variety of situations here. You want to understand the deeper meaning, but if it's not working, you get to renegotiate it. And that's key for you and for them to know. And if you take pressure off someone who doesn't either remember they have a contract or they've been too psychically infiltrated to achieve it, then it's best to just say, you know what, not working, renegotiate. So.
Okay.
All right, Maureen. Thank you.
And Maureen, you might want to listen to, we post this up on our website, on our YouTube channel, on RobinAlexis.com. You want to listen to this again, because there was a lot of stuff she just gave you, and anybody else also. So we'll have the show up probably later tonight, definitely by tomorrow, okay?
All right, thank you so much. I so appreciate it.
You sound better. Your energy sounds better, and she's more alive and more present, I think. So
well,
that's
I think,
great.
She's understanding that there was a deeper meaning to why this began, and now she can begin to figure out how to cultivate either achieving it or transforming it. It's going to be powerful for everybody.
Thank you for the call. We will be back after these messages.
When is the last time that you felt joy-filled and free in your own body, mind, and emotions? That energy of joy in you is what I assist you to reset and restore. I'm Joy Air, and my company is Freedom with Joy, and I sponsor Mystic Radio with Robin Alexis. What is Freedom with Joy? I assist people to get rid of their baggage without having to analyze or relive it. It's just gone, and you get your life back. Joy is an energy, and everything in the world has energy. Our bodies are no exception. When you have emotional baggage from the past, it blocks you from living your full life of love and joy. I'm a certified practitioner of Dr. Bradley Nelson's energy healing modalities, the emotion code and the body code. This work quite often produces marvelous results and wonderful benefits, so you can be free to live in abundant health, love, and happiness. These tools are not meant to replace any medical treatment, but if your body or mind is feeling heavy instead of joy-filled, let me assist you to relieve your burdens and lighten your spirit. Openings for new clients are filling up, so grab this opportunity to schedule a session with me. Call now to schedule your appointment for a free discovery call. 360-582-6595. That's 360-582-6595. You too could experience freedom with joy.
Mystic medium and metaphysical mother Robin Alexis is once again inviting you to schedule your personal one-on-one phone sessions with her. Robin offers you her expertise with a psychology background and her acclaimed metaphysical skills. She's a Reiki master and has been in private practice assisting people to figure out their life concerns for over 30 years. Whether you've just heard about her or like thousands of others who've worked with her on Mystic Radio and in personal readings, you know a session with Robin Alexis can change your life. Robin has a profound skill set that includes past life readings and being a medium who speaks with family, friends, and pets who've transitioned. Robin is also an adept medical intuitive whose abilities range from being able to balance your chakras and energy systems to having a special gift of helping mothers to become pregnant when nothing else has worked. Mystic Robin Alexis can assist you to feel the power of your own mind, your own heart, and your own ability to create the life you deserve. Schedule your sessions with Robin now in the Mystic Store at RobinAlexis.com. That's RobinAlexis.com or call 530-859-2499. That's 530-859-2499. Call, schedule your appointment, and change your life now. You're listening to an encore edition of Mystic Radio. This show was originally recorded live in April of 2019. Robin will return as soon as her voice returns, so listen every week for an announcement of her return date.
Welcome back to Mystic Radio with Robin Alexis from Mystical Mount Shasta. If it's Wednesday or Sunday, it is Mystic Radio.
And if you figured out you're not a participant in your life, you're a creator of your life, and you'd like to figure out how to create a better presence and future for yourself, you can book a one-on-one phone session with me. You can do that by calling Bob at 530-859-2499, or you can go to the website robinalexis.com and book in the Mystic Store. And if you haven't joined me on Facebook, we really do have some interesting time where listeners share different questions, and we're starting to talk about those on the radio show and more so on Facebook. Lots of people are starting to interact, and it's very, very exciting. And you just...
Wait, how do you find you on Facebook?
Robin Alexis.
Good.
That was good, honey. Da-da-da. Okay. And you just heard about Dr. Nels. We adore Dr. Nels. He does remote healings on our animals once a month to help keep them in their health and well-being, and that is vital for us as a family to know that our four-leggeds are taken care of by him. So if you're interested in learning anything about him and how he works, you can go to healingministryforanimals.com, and or you can email Bob at robinalexis.com, and he'll send you some more information.
That's more contact information. So you can get that from his website, or you can email me for contact information on Dr. Nels. We love him. He keeps our 3 little kitties very, very happy, and they are very, very happy.
Curry pants.
Yes. So if you want to talk to Robin today, there still looks like there's time. You can get in, pick up the phone now, call us. The toll-free number is 888-298-5569, locally in Seattle, 425-373-5527. Now, I came up with another insight for me about why our souls would pick abusive parents. I have, in this lifetime, I have very strong boundaries. I know my boundaries, and I put them out when necessary, and that people don't always like that. But I have strong boundaries, and so I'm wondering, maybe I picked my parents because in past lives, my soul had weak boundaries, and they needed to find strong boundaries in this lifetime. And so that might have been another reason why I came to my parents.
And another reason could be that we learn from negative teachers very strong messages of how not to be.
If we learn that.
If we learn that.
Because sometimes we learn how to be, which is when I talked about my father's abuse and his father's abuse and on and on and on.
Generational abuse.
They never got it.
Yeah.
So it just came down, and now we're becoming, this program is about waking up. It's about getting out of denial. It's again looking at what's really there as opposed to the way we want it.
Yeah, owning one's spiritual power, understanding spiritual mastery, and how to be in our authenticity and have that supported by the manifest universe to create our reality very consciously. So, and again, remember, you can do that right at preconception. So if you know anybody trying to have babies, send them my way. I'll help.
Yeah, she will. She's had incredible experience. Be careful. You better really want to be pregnant, because one session she's gotten assisted ladies to become pregnant in one session. But anyway, let's get to Dina from Bremerton, Washington. Dina, welcome to Mystic Radio from Mount Shasta, California. You're on with Robin Alexis.
Yes, I'm curious about contracts I may have made for this lifetime, and I'm wondering if I have honored them.
Oh, wow, that's a great question. Well, let's see if your higher self, your higher self is very reticent. So I'm going to go to the overlighting diva of your Akashic records, where your contracts would be. And actually, that being's pretty reticent, too, so that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
That is not going to help you get the answer to your question. Let's find out why those two are having reticence to either be in their own essence and or to communicate to each other. And what they're telling me is that they're both feeling really shy, that they're really shy about doing this live on the radio. So what I'm going to do then is honor that for them. And what they can do is, when we get off the air, you can have your high self take the hand of your overlighting diva of your Akashic records, bring you into your own personal karmic boardroom, where you do make your decisions of how your soul is going to experience itself, and see what your situation is. And as I see more awakening in there, what I'm hearing with you is you actually have moved into a lot of Dharma that most people that I know or have come into contact with have not done this. Dharma is when there's no more contract there. It's just in the moment. And so everything can be experienced in the presence of now. And normally when you get to that vibration or caricature of frequency, the energy is very enlightened. There's a place where you've earned each other's trust and you've earned each other's loyalty, and therefore you just know that whatever is going to happen is going to be in the highest and holiest. So now I actually do see your high self taking the hand of the overlighting diva of your Akashic records and bringing you into the boardroom. So they wanted me to talk about Dharma, but then they went into the room. So when I look to your past in there, you actually have a huge stack of old, outstanding, unexamined soul contracts that you haven't dealt with yet. In this lifetime, you're actually being very efficient about managing those kinds of situations. And then when I look to the right, there's actually like a very few, but they look pretty intense. So given that we're seeing you have them stacked in either past, present, or future, we're going to look at the ones in the present time right now. And there seems to be 3 individuals that you have unexamined soul contracts with. They are participants of many of these previous incarnations where you have this huge stack going on. And you have, as we were talking about earlier, you have the right in this situation to simply write null and void on these and say, you know, whatever they were, let's just let them go, and then let's bow to each other and allow for the Dharma energy to just start coming through. Meaning that sometimes you don't have to cross every T and dot every I of a contract. You can just feel into it and go, you know what, this is okay. Let's just bow to each other and be in the moment. So you can do that, or you can pick up each of these documents and you can read them, read the fine print, renegotiate what you want to do. But that's something you'd either need to do in a private session with me or privately on your own in your own meditation. So to answer your question, there does appear to be 3 that still aren't completely done, and you can do whatever you want with those. So now I see you coming back out of that karmic boardroom till you figure out what you want to do, Dina. So very, very conscious question, and you got a great answer, and now you can begin to work with it. Thank you for your call.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
We're going to go to Serena from Seattle. Serena, welcome to Mystic Radio from Mount Shasta, California. You're on with Robin.
Hi, Robin. It's Serena.
Hi.
I was hoping maybe you could look at my energy and kind of diagnose what's going on with me. I just, for about a week, had so much weird energy, like buzzing in my head and painful needles, and then also a lot of physical stuff, like I've just been kind of sick and not getting over stuff. And I'm just wondering, is it like a combination of things, or am I being like messed with, or maybe it's just ascension symptoms and I'm not recognizing it? I don't know.
Well, it doesn't feel like ascension symptoms to me. I'm getting a visual of something kind of plucked over your chest area. Almost looks like an octopus thing, but it's got suction cups on it, and it just looked at me. It's got eyes. So it's something that I would say this is some form of an entity that has attached itself to you for its own dear life, and that you're feeling its presence in your field. And so I'd say it's not your energy at all, but it's able to access you. And it came in through a situation that we're going to be dealing with later on tonight, where we're going to be removing some vortex portals that are affiliated with the Anunnaki. There you go. The energy's starting to shift. Can you feel that at all, Serena?
A little bit.
Good.
Kind of softening, yeah.
Yes, let it soften. And I'm just going to see if that creature that attached itself to you, if it can go out through that portal that still exists, and then have it go back to wherever it came from. Woof. Now, I know you work with essential oils. Do you happen to have any Endoflex?
No, I don't have that. Never heard of that one.
Okay, that's one of the Young Living oils. That feels like that would be really helpful for you in this particular situation. Do you have any frankincense?
Yeah, I've been putting it on every night.
Okay, put it on your thymus gland area.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
All right. You're
Appreciate
very
it.
welcome. And if you don't feel better by the morning, I think you should call for a session and get this completely checked out, okay?
I will. Thank you.
All right, Serena, thank you. Bye-bye.
We're going to go to Rocio from Seattle. I hope I pronounced that correct. Rocio, welcome to Mystic Radio from Mount Shasta, California. Hey, Rocio, you need to turn down your radio or computer. We're getting feedback, and so you're on with Robin Alexis.
Thank you. Thank you for taking my call.
Yes, how may I serve you?
Yes. My brother and I, we have a property together in my home country, and I have always rescued him every time he couldn't pay. We finally have it for sale. I have a very modest income, and it's becoming very stressful for me to pay for his home. And the apartment is on sale, but hasn't been sold yet.
Okay, what's your question?
My question is, can you help to move the energy for the apartment to sell? Is this the right direction I'm taking?
Yes, definitely selling it is the way to go. It's interesting. This is a boundary issue presenting. Basically, what's going on is you have overgiven. So if we look at this as karma, sometimes when we become aware that we are enabling someone to have inappropriate behavior and we have bad boundaries, we are part of the problem instead of part of the solution.
Right.
And so you have, at this point, his karma is starting to spill back into your energy field. And for your own survival, for your own preservation, right now, you have got to say no more and do what you need to do for you. And that will be
Right.
the biggest gift you can give to you and to your brother. Now,
Okay.
given that, I do feel the apartment moving along and selling. This is an opportunity for you where, you know, it's gotten to this point where it's what was that thing my mom used to say? Push come to shove. But anyway, you know, you could have taken care of it sooner. It might have been more, you know, friendly. Can't be right now. You just got to take care of business and move on, because otherwise you're getting backwash on a situation that's going to haunt you for probably 3 or 4 lifetimes into the future. So take care of yourself right now. Thank you for your call.
Okay. Do you see when it's going to sell?
Right away. So get it listed right away,
Okay.
and
Okay.
get some people in there. It'll go.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Rocio. This is Mystic Radio. We will be back after these messages.
When is the last time that you felt joy-filled and free in your own body, mind, and emotions? That energy of joy in you is what I assist you to reset and restore. I'm Joy Air, and my company is Freedom with Joy, and I sponsor Mystic Radio with Robin Alexis. What is Freedom with Joy? I assist people to get rid of their baggage without having to analyze or relive it. It's just gone, and you get your life back. Joy is an energy, and everything in the world has energy. Our bodies are no exception. When you have emotional baggage from the past, it blocks you from living your full life of love and joy. I'm a certified practitioner of Dr. Bradley Nelson's energy healing modalities, the emotion code and the body code. This work quite often produces marvelous results and wonderful benefits, so you can be free to live in abundant health, love, and happiness. These tools are not meant to replace any medical treatment, but if your body or mind is feeling heavy instead of joy-filled, let me assist you to relieve your burdens and lighten your spirit. Openings for new clients are filling up, so grab this opportunity to schedule a session with me. Call now to schedule your appointment for a free discovery call. 360-582-6595. That's 360-582-6595. You too could experience freedom with joy.
Mystic medium and metaphysical mother Robin Alexis is once again inviting you to schedule your personal one-on-one phone sessions with her. Robin offers you her expertise with a psychology background and her acclaimed metaphysical skills. She's a Reiki master and has been in private practice assisting people to figure out their life concerns for over 30 years. Whether you've just heard about her or like thousands of others who've worked with her on Mystic Radio and in personal readings, you know a session with Robin Alexis can change your life. Robin has a profound skill set that includes past life readings and being a medium who speaks with family, friends, and pets who've transitioned. Robin is also an adept medical intuitive whose abilities range from being able to balance your chakras and energy systems to having a special gift of helping mothers to become pregnant when nothing else has worked. Mystic Robin Alexis can assist you to feel the power of your own mind, your own heart, and your own ability to create the life you deserve. Schedule your sessions with Robin now in the Mystic Store at RobinAlexis.com. That's RobinAlexis.com or call 530-859-2499. That's 530-859-2499. Call, schedule your appointment, and change your life now.
Welcome back to Mystic Radio with Robin Alexis from Mystical Mount Shasta. If it's Wednesday or Sunday, it is Mystic Radio.
And isn't it fun to have Mystic Radio live from Mount Shasta? Oh my goodness, this energy here is amazing. If you haven't visited Mount Shasta, I do highly recommend it. It's quite an experience. And if you do enjoy the radio show, you enjoy the idea of not being a participant in your life, but understanding you are the creator of your life, you might want to have a one-on-one phone session with me. You may even want to go back to what did your soul as a baby spirit at preconception get itself into, and why in your particular situations did some things work and not work. Because as we're discovering in this conversation, conversation, it's not a cookie cutter answer. There are a variety of reasons why things can happen, and by you knowing it, you can become part of the solution instead of part of the problem, and you can change your life. So if you want to call Bob for a session, it's you call him for a session with me. It's 530-859-2499, or you can go to robinalexis.com, which is a great website, and you can go into the Mystic Store, and you can book it there. He'll call you and schedule you. And of course, if you want to join these fun conversations past just this hour on Mystic Radio, come and join Robin Alexis on Facebook.
Wow, what a good show, huh?
Yes, I feel like channeling again, so
okay.
Go ahead.
Don't channel. The end of the show.
I'm ready to talk some more, but keep going.
I think the show is coming to an end. But we had some great callers today. Thank you, all of you callers. You make the show what it is. We always thank Eric back in the studio. He does an amazing job for us here at Mystic Radio, because he's in Seattle, we're in Mount Shasta, and we're talking to you all around the world. So thanks, Eric, for flying the bus for us here at Mystic Radio from Mystical Mount Shasta. We will see you next week, 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 noon Pacific, where we are. And
remember, the fairies want you to own and trust your own boundaries.
This is Mystic Radio.
Thank you for listening to Mystic Radio with Robin Alexis. I'm Joy Air, and my company, Freedom with Joy, and producer Eric Ryder have brought you today's program. Tune in next Wednesday at 12 noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. One of these Wednesdays we will be announcing when Robin Alexis will be back live.